Right, I've started recording, so yeah, please. I think I have.
Perfect. Am I able to? Yeah, share my screen. Hi everybody, my name's Tom Amos. I'm the Library and Learning Services Manager at CU Coventry. We may have met before. I did come to Aston Martin last year with Lynn, but I wasn't sure whether it was the same group.
It's definitely the same group. They've met you.
No, well, okay, right, perfect. Okay, there we go, great. So as Hannah was saying, I'm going to focus this morning on research around Big Table Group, casual dining, the hospitality sector and restaurants and how they've marketed themselves during COVID-19. So I have a few slides just to share before we go. So I'm just going to see if I can share those with you. Can you all see that okay?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, now I can. It took a while. I was going to say no, but I can see it now.
Oh, great, thank you. Yeah, sorry, it takes a little while to load sometimes. We've got these in full screen for you. So we've got a couple of aims and desired outcomes from today's session. So we're going to mostly focus on discovering research and scholarly literature around the casual dining market, put in brackets internationally there, because I know you've got a bit of an international focus. Maybe have a look at some information about public attitudes towards returning to restaurants post-COVID-19 and marketing of restaurants and hospitality during COVID-19. And we'll also focus specifically on the Big Table Group, who used to be called the Casual Dining Group. So when we're doing research around Big Table, it's also useful to search for Casual Dining Group too, because I think prior to last year, that we called that. And then at the end, I'll outline some further support you can get from the library and from academic writing as well. So just before we move on, I think you've probably all seen our Libguides pages before, but I've just put a reminder, it's more to myself at the bottom of this slide that says favourite this link. So there's a link to our Libguides pages just at the bottom there. These will be a starting point for a lot of the things we look at today. So if you're not sure how to access our Libguides pages, maybe you haven't seen them before, haven't got that link, whatever it might be, I'm just going to pop it in the chat and give you all an opportunity just to favourite that. So you should be able to paste it into your browser and then just click that favourite button so you can get back to it time and time again. So I'll just see if I can put that in the chat. If I can find the chat, there we go. I've just been using Zoom, so the chat's in a different place. Let me. So the link to Libguides is just in the chat for anybody that hasn't got that down from before. So a question for you all really. So in addition to what we've mentioned so far, to what I've mentioned, to what Hannah and I were discussing at the start, are there any other subjects or topics you might be interested in researching around, or anything in particular you'd like me to focus on? So maybe you could just tell me in the chat or unmute, feeling brave.
So there's one topic which I'd quite like to discuss, just on how we can research more into their objectives, just because it's one of the learning outcomes, or one of the tasks, sorry, to talk about their learning objectives. So just on how we could source those. Okay,
so when you talk about their objectives, the Big Table Group's objectives.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, we'll have a look at that. Yeah, we'll touch on that as we go. That's really useful, thank you. Anything else that I think would be useful to research about?
Tommy was saying about looking at people's attitudes towards eating out, because I think this is one of the big challenges is just, you know, in terms of returning, what's it going to look like? So anything that's around that is going to be really helpful to build a sort of effective marketing plan. So
okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll have a look at that too. Perfect. So in terms of where we find this information, there's sort of two strands to the research that you might want to do for this assignment. So there's some fairly broad topics that are covered, such as international global marketing, the marketing of restaurants or hospitality, creating a marketing plan, which are sort of fairly broad, but then there's some more specific stuff as well. So the specific stuff would be looking into the big table group, casual dining group, exploring their strategy, marketing, finances, etc., and also exploring the impact of COVID-19 on the hospitality industry or restaurants, maybe its impact on marketing, that type of thing as well. So I've separated these sort of topics into two things here. There's a bit of a difference as to where you might find this information. So if you're looking at something fairly broad, like information about how to formulate a marketing plan, or maybe you're looking at global marketing or international marketing as a whole, I would probably recommend books for those sort of broad topics. But for the more specific topics, I wouldn't perhaps recommend textbooks so much. You're more likely to find this information in things like academic journals, specific databases, research reports, market analysis, that kind of thing. So when we're searching for this information, it's useful to bear in mind that we want to look in different places. That was a question. I've already answered that question. I forgot I had that as a question in my slides. So just to emphasize, is there a difference in where you might find this information, this broader information, and the more specific? Yes. So academic textbooks tend to cover the broader stuff, whereas journal articles, market research, company research would be for the more specific topics. So in terms of the broader headings that things are going to come under, then probably your most useful sources of information would be Locate and Libguides, because we have lots of academic textbooks available on there. I think probably you've all seen these before. Are you all comfortable using Locate and Libguides? Maybe someone could just... Yeah, perfect. So I'm just going to spend sort of a couple of minutes just recapping this very briefly, just to show you how you might find some of this information on these platforms. I'm aware you've probably all used these lots in the past, and you're familiar with them, so I'm not going to spend too long on this, and then we'll look at some of the more specific stuff just after that. So I'm just stop sharing my screen and jump across to Libguides for a moment. So I'll try and jump to Libguides as quickly as I can. So here we go. So from Libguides, from anywhere within this page, you've got quick links and Locate and Libguides just at the side here. If you're looking for these topics, it's as simple as sort of selecting one of these platforms. So I'm going to pick Libguides. Identify your keywords and terms. So we might be looking at hospitality marketing, for instance. Just pop those keywords and terms. So keep it fairly simple in your search bar at the top. So hospitality marketing. see here we've got lots of textbooks that would be useful. So we've got things like marketing for hospitality and tourism, another text, marketing for tourism and hospitality, hospitality management text, some others about the hospitality industry, marketing as well. And if you want to access any of these texts and read them in a bit more depth, you can just click on them, or you can work your way through these search results and click on specific sections to read more about hospitality marketing. So if you've read this preview here and you wanted to go to that book and read a bit more about hospitality marketing, click on it and that will open up for me in just a second. There we go. So you can see it's taken me to that book and to the page that's most useful to me as well. So I know you've all seen BibliU before, but I think it's definitely worth having a bit of a recap on that. One of the features you may not have seen before, I know I come to Aston Martin probably just over a year ago now. But some of the new features on BibliU that you may not have seen. So if you select a search result on BibliU, one of the things that might be helpful to you is it's got a reference function now. So if you go to the top right, click more options and click open references. BibliU will help you to reference any books that you might come across in APA or CU Harvard, depending on the format you're using. So if I wanted to reference this book, if I found some useful information on BibliU, I can just copy this now, pop it into my list of references, and just check it's in line with the referencing guide. But BibliU can be pretty helpful for that. And likewise, if I've come across other topics that I might want to explore, so maybe marketing plan, I can do the same thing in BibliU. So do a quick search. And now I've got some books about marketing plans, marketing strategy, and lots of search results as well. And I can click on those search results to read more. So it's as simple as that. I'm not going to spend too long on BibliU because I know you've all seen it in the past. And we'll just have a quick refresher of Locate as well. So you can do exactly the same thing on Locate. Go to that quick link section on Libguides, click on Locate, and think about those fairly sort of broad headings. So again, I might search for marketing strategy this time. And click this books, journals, media and more option. And you can see we've got lots of results for marketing strategy. So maybe international marketing strategy would be the one that's useful for you. And you can click. Look for this online access icon. Click it. And just follow the link on this page to the ebook. So you're just looking for this blue link here. So actually this one takes you to BibliU, but it will take you to various platforms where you can access those ebooks. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time going through that because I think you've probably all seen that before. But I will just pause for a moment, just ask if you have any questions about BibliU and Locate and how you can access things like ebooks. All happy with that? We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that was just a very quick recap of those things. So the main thing I'm going to focus on today is the more specific stuff. So the industry research, the market research, and stuff that's specific to developments since the start of the COVID pandemic as well. So I'll just stop sharing my screen one more time and jump back to my PowerPoint, and then we'll have a look at those things. Okay, so we've looked at where to find this broader information, which you can find fairly straightforwardly on Libgu and Locate. And as I said, for looking for the more specific information, so information that's specific to the Big Table group or casual dining group, whatever they're called, strategy, marketing strategies that are specific to specific companies or groups, information about COVID-19. This is probably found elsewhere rather than textbooks. So we've got some graphics there, so you might find them in journal articles, market research, and industry reports mostly, but also on the web. So maybe from themselves, which we'll touch on a bit later too. So going back to Libguides then, sorry, just keep changing between screens. So if you're doing this type of research, what I recommend you do is from Libguides, go to subject guides and then select business, management and leadership. And you can see lots of different databases in this list. These databases will help you to research for the information we're looking at now. Does anybody, is there a particular place you'd like me to start? So would you like me to look at maybe Big Table or casual dining first, or would you like me to look at the impacts of COVID-19, or any particular place you'd like me to, anything you'd like me to focus on?
Let's start with the company's performance first. So let's see how they're doing, and then let's look at like what's going on in the environment. So yeah, that would be really good. Thank you.
So if you're looking for company specific information, you can use some of these databases here. So databases like Business Market Research Collection can be useful, Business Source Complete. But we've also got a tab for company information. So probably I would go to this company information tab. And you can see a list of databases here you can use to get market and company information. Some of these have slightly different focuses. So something like, let me give you an example. So something like passport, for instance, perhaps wouldn't be so useful in this case because it tends to cover only sort of really large conglomerate companies. Although Big Table is quite large, passport probably wouldn't cover it. Whereas some of the databases might be a bit more useful. So things like the Business Market Research Collection, Business Source Complete, Mintel tend to focus very much on the UK and cover a sort of wider range of companies. So that may be where I'd suggest we have a look. So I'm going to start with Mintel. Mintel is fairly easy to use, and like I said, it focuses mostly on the UK and China, and covers a nice wide range of industries. So if I click on that, and I'm just going to continue to follow this link. So Mintel, I'm going to click Online Access, then click the link to Mintel. Here we go. So once we're in Mintel, probably the easiest way for you to search is to use this I'm looking for option, and then just put some relevant keywords and terms in. So I might search for casual and in a moment I'm going to repeat this search, exchange casual dining group for Big Table, because I'm aware that name change might mean that we have to factor in sort of both possibilities here. So put casual dining group in and I'm going to click search. and just let Mintal run that search for a moment. And you can see straight away here, we've got a few different pieces of news and reports, some reports about eating out and the impact of COVID-19, which might be particularly useful for you. And you can see that this report's fairly up to date, so the 31st of December. And it mentions the casual dining group. We've got casual dining group highlighted in our search result there. And it even says in brackets rebranded as Big Table. If you're getting lots of results in Mintal like this, and some of them don't look so relevant, it's because you might get news articles as well as reports and industry analysis. So if that's the case, go to show all content types and then just select the type of thing that you want to see. So probably I want to see industry reports and not news. So I'm going to click on reports. And if you're, like say, if you've done a search and you're getting a lot of news, things that don't look so relevant, use that to filter out some of the stuff you don't want. And then you get a little preview of stuff just by hovering over, and use that to determine which report will be most relevant to you. So I'm going to select this one. I think this eating out report, particularly as it focuses on the casual dining group by the looks of things, would be the type of thing we're looking for. So I'm just going to click on that. And you can see Mintal brings up our report, which we can just scroll through. It also highlights specific keywords or terms that you think will be useful within this report. So you can see casual dining group highlighted just there. And we've got a nice useful comparison with some competitors there. So Slim's Chicken, Carluccio's, etc. And some further information as I go throughout the reports. And you can see casual dining mentioned again there. So in terms of using Mintal, it's as simple as that really, just navigating through the search results. That highlight feature can be useful for finding specific information. You might also want to go back to search results once you've found one report and have a look at some others. So I might look at this report here, for instance, the future of service at restaurants, click on that one, and I might do the same thing and look for some other information there. As we know, casual dining group has been renamed to, is it the Big Table now, or Big Table Group? I'm gonna have to ask.
I think the learners know better than I do. Go on.
I think it may be the Big Table.
The Big Table. Okay, so what I would do then is repeat that search with the Big Table. Just because they've obviously had that name change. And then you can see if we do the same search, you'll probably get different results. You can see Big Table featured in that same report there. Maybe not so many others. Because the company's changed its name fairly recently, it's definitely worth searching for casual dining group as well, because you might get more literature that focuses on casual dining group. Look at Mintal though, I think definitely this report would be useful to you. It's probably one that you guys should maybe consider taking a look at. What I'll do as well is I'll pop a link in the chat to this report. So if you want to sort of grab that link from the chat and have a look at that report, you've got a link to it as well.
Just one question on that, Tom. In terms of like using reports from Mintal within our assignments, how would we like reference them and things like that then?
Good question. So you would reference them as an online report. Are you referencing in APA or CU Harvard?
CU Harvard.
CU Harvard. So follow the format for a web page. So if you were referencing this report, if you can't see a specific author, so looking at this information here, it doesn't say this report was written by whoever. So you would use a corporate author. So Mintal would be your author. and then you've got the year there, and then it's just following the web page format. So you'd have Mintel 2020, the title of the report, which is Eating Out with You, including impact of COVID-19, online available from, then your link to your web address, which is this one here, and then the date you access the page. So it's the exact same format as you would use for a website. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
The only thing that might be different with other reports is if you can see a named author, use the named author rather than the company. So if I went to this page and it gave me the name of the author, use their name rather than the corporate name, which is Mintel. Okay, so that's Mintel in a nutshell. I'm going to head back to Libguides now, because Mintel is just one of the databases we can use to research around this topic. To go to other databases and do the same thing, I'm going to go back to subject guides and to business management and leadership. And again, navigate back to this company information tab. And within other databases, again, you'll find slightly different information that will still be useful. So you might want to go to something like Business Source Complete. So you can see Business Source Complete here. It says contains industry and market research reports and company profiles. So if we're looking for a company profile, this might be useful. So I'm going to select Business Source Complete. And click online access and follow the link to that. And you can see straight away it's got advanced search highlighted. I'm going to leave that on. Within databases like this one, like Business Source Complete, you can often search for or use or within your searches to take into account different synonyms or different keywords and terms. So what it might be useful to do if you're looking for casual dining group or the big table in databases like this is pop some quotation marks in, search for casual dining group, that in quotation marks. So the reason that I'd suggest doing that is because if the words casual dining and group appear separately, that will come up in your search results if you don't use a phrase search, so if you don't put these quotation marks in. So I want casual dining group to appear as a phrase because we're looking for this specific company. So I'm going to put it in quotation marks. Then I can use the word or. So I can search for casual dining group or the big table. I'm going to do the same here, put that in quotation marks, because we want to search for that as a phrase rather than 3 separate words. So at this point, if I was looking for something like a company overview, I would just click search and see if we can find any information about this company. So you can see here we've got some information from things like periodicals. So we've got some information about casual dining group being bought out by administrators. And some of the news about the group. Looks like they've had some money troubles by the looks of things. If you want to look for a specific type of source, so if you were looking for a company profile, that type of thing, you could go to source types and you might click market research reports rather than all these different types of source types. So if I click on that, you'll see I'll get different reports. There's also some other keywords in terms of I was looking for a company profile that I might use when I'm searching around casual dining group or big table. So if I wanted to perhaps search around this company or this group, but take into account other useful keywords in terms. I might put Las Iguanas in here. Hopefully I'm spelling Las Iguanas. Or Bella Italia, or Cafe Rouge. So I might search for casual dining group or big table, but then also take into account all those different brands that fall within the group and do the same. And I might want to look at those for those as a phrase. So again, I'm going to put those in quotation marks. And I search again and see if we can find anything different that way. And you can see here we've got some different results. So some news about the casual dining group from different periodicals and that type of thing. Hannah, does this look fairly relevant so far?
Absolutely, yes, it does. And I think what we need to do, just from the learner's point of view, is almost make, because my concern is, but before this is submitted, they'll go out of business properly, and I don't want you. So we almost need to make some sort of assumption that it will be continuing to trade in some way. So we appreciate it's in a bad position, but that's actually the time when they need marketing. So yeah, it is sort of gives a context and an indication of what the market's like. So it's good. Okay, thank you.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do is just drop a link in the chat again to this specific search. So what you guys can do following this session is, if you want to, you can come back to this search and explore these search results. Or you can edit this search at the top a little bit and modify it and search again, and you might find other company news and profiles and that type of thing as well. Let me just drop that in the chat. There we go. So it should just be in the chat just now. And the other thing I'd encourage you to do again is come back to this. So move away from Business Source Complete, come back to Libguides and have an explore of other databases as well. So Business Market Research Collection will also have some useful information. So this time I'm going to click on that one. And I'm going to repeat the same or similar steps. So I'm going to go back to here, go to the Business Market Research Collection. And you'll see if I do the same or similar search, I should get different results, but equally, you'll hopefully find other resources that are useful to us. So I'm going to put social dining in again. Or the big table, and just run my search. And you can see this time we've only got one result from Hoover's company records. But if I click on this, I should get quite a nice report about the casual dining group, which I can click to download. That's opened in Edge, so I'm just going to share that with you and share a different window. Okay, so you can see this time we've got a report from Hoover's company records. Which gives you some nice key information about the company. A little bit of a summary there as well. So you can see by searching across a range of databases, you'll find a range of things to do with the casual dining group or big table. So what I'd encourage you to do following this session is explore some of the other databases, repeat these searches across a range of them, and it'll help you to find some more, hopefully company specific information as well. I'll just stop sharing that and go back to my search results for a moment. There we go. And I will just drop a link to this document in the chat too, so you've all got a record of that. I'm not sure, Hannah, if we'll find a SWOT analysis on this group or not. Normally, if you're going to come across a SWOT analysis, it will be probably business market research collection or business.
It really doesn't matter. It was just if there was one. Yeah, if there's not, it's absolutely fine, especially given the situation it's in. So it's really, it's a nice to have. So it's
okay,
thank you.
Yeah, if I find one following this session, I'll send it through to you, but I'm not sure if we'll get hold of one.
No, thank you.
So moving on then from the company specific research, the other sort of strand to this is having a look at perhaps some journal articles to do with the restaurant industry following COVID-19, marketing within the restaurant industry and marketing of casual dining during COVID-19 as well. So that's what I'm going to move on to have a look at in a moment. And again, the way we search for that is a little bit different to the way you perhaps search for company specific information like we've done here. So before I move on to that, has anybody got any questions or anything they'd like me to just recap so far? We're all okay. Okay, so I'm going to take that as no questions. If you do think of anything as we move on and as we go through this, stop me and I'll be more than happy to answer those. So going back to Libguides then, you can also look for journal articles around this topic. So to do that, again, we're going to go back to subject guides and business management and leadership. And this time, rather than this company information tab, I'm going to focus more on this databases tab. So these databases contain lots of different scholarly information. So things like journal articles and company reports, but mostly what we're going to focus now is finding journal articles. So if I select one of these, so let's use Business Source Complete as an example. If you're searching for journal articles around this topic, the first thing I'd do is consider a range of keywords and terms that might be useful when you're searching around it. So I know that you're looking at the marketing of casual dining restaurants, so I might put casual dining in. But I might also search for hospitality or restaurant marketing, so I'm going to put casual dining or restaurant. Or hospitality. So when we're searching for journal articles, you want to consider a range of keywords or terms and use advanced search to help you with that. So now we're going to combine casual dining or restaurant or hospitality with another keyword and term, which is going to help us to focus on this topic. So what might I combine? I'm going to ask you guys in this workshop. What might I combine with these keywords and terms to search more effectively around this topic? So what might I add to this search? Maybe someone's feeling brave could unmute and tell me what might I add in.
Marketing.
Yeah, exactly that. So I might put marketing in. And again, oops, let me spell marketing correctly. Or I might put advertising or promotion. You can see it's suggesting or promotional branding for me. So again, I'm going to take into account alternative keywords or terms. And if specific, I might put and COVID-19 or corona, etc., etc. So I can be fairly specific when I'm searching, but also take into account a range of keywords and terms. So it's going to help you to find literature fairly accurately. So I'm going to click search now. And hopefully we'll get some journal articles related to this topic. So you can see we've got a range of results here, and it's quite a high number, so we've got 189 results. If you've got an initial set of results and you're not quite sure whether they're going to be useful to you or not, the next thing you might want to do is select a field at the top here. So I know that I want the focus of my research here to be marketing or advertising. So I'm going to put marketing in the title and then click search again. And you can see I've got quite different results now. And if I want to, if I'm not getting quite what I want, I can edit this search a little bit. So I might put, I might take hospitality out of there. And I might put marketing in all text. And I might put this in the title this time and search again. And you'll see I'll get a different range of results. That I can look through as well. If I want to focus on specific types of sources, so if I've done my search and I wanted to look at journal articles only, for instance, I can use this limit to feature and click scholarly journals. And that will limit my search to a specific type of source. So maybe something like that would be useful for me. So I might click on it. And then if I want to know whether I think this article is going to be useful to me, I can read the abstract, which is a short summary of an article. And then if I want to know a bit more or read it in full, I can click PDF full text and read that article in full. So what I'm doing here is using this advanced search, selecting fields, and thinking about the various keywords and terms I can use to search as well. So you can do this in a range of databases. So going back to Libguides, you can repeat these steps across any of the databases here really. And different databases will yield different results. So if you do a search like this in Business Source Complete, but then maybe you do it in Academic Search Complete, Business Market Research, Sage, a different database, you'll get slightly different results, but they'll still be relevant to the same topic. So it's useful to search across a range of sources. So I'm just going to pause there for a second, and so whether I've showed you that quite quickly, those techniques for searching for journal articles. Does anybody have any questions about that so far? Okay, so the last thing I'm just going to touch on is just go back to Libguides one more time. And as well as searching in these databases, I think it will also be useful for you to look in Locate. So Locate is the library catalogue. I'm sure you're familiar with Locate. So just to explain, you can search for journal articles in Locate as well. The difference between searching in Locate and in databases is databases are a bit more focused. So if you search and locate and you're getting a lot of search results and it's a bit overwhelming, then it can be useful to use databases instead. But I'm just going to show you how to search and locate as well, because this can be handy. So we click on locate. The first thing I'm going to do is click on advanced search. I'm just in the top right. And then we want to search for journal articles. So I'm going to click on article search. And then you can see that it looks fairly similar to our database. So in Business Source Complete, we had multiple search bars, and we've got the same in locate. So we've got 2 search bars here, and the same options to select a field. So I'm going to put restaurant or dining and marketing. And I'm going to add one more search line to this, and COVID-19. And then I'll click search, and you'll see we'll get a different set of results that should still be useful to us. So you can see a lot of different results there. If I wanted to edit this search a little bit and refine it a little bit more, we can do exactly the same as we did in the database. So I might want to focus specifically on dining or restaurant. So I'm going to select a field and put that in the title rather than just anywhere, and then search again. And you'll see we'll get a slightly different set of results, which might be too narrow. If that doesn't work out, you can go back to your search, change your field again. So I might go back to any field and search again, and you'll see you'll get different results. So the thing to do here is think about your range of keywords and terms, vary them in these fields, repeat your search, and you'll find a range of search results. So you can see that we've got quite a lot of potentially relevant results. I'm just going to pause here and just double check. Do these articles, so the stuff that we're seeing here, does this look relevant, do we think?
I think so. I mean, the customer risk perception, dynamic motivation, that's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Because if we understand that, we understand what we need to do about it. So yeah, Tom, this looks great.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so if you wanted to access this article, for instance, you can just click it and follow this blue link here, and then it should take me through to that one. I don't know why that's not taking me through to that article. Let me try that again. There we go. Sorry about that. So you can see it's taken through to our article. If I want to download the whole thing as a PDF, I can use this PDF option. Another thing that can be quite useful once you've found some of the articles that you think are relevant, you can also take a look at this recommended articles option to see if you can find others that are similar there. So you can click on those to explore some more. Going back to our search results in Locate, the other thing you can do if you found an article that you're interested in and that's helpful, so this one here, for instance, is click this orange arrow, and it will show you sources cited in this article. So it's basically taking a look at that article's references. So if I click that, we can explore other articles that are related to this one by clicking that link, and you can see some others there. So that could be quite helpful. It's not a perfect way of finding other articles, so you're not always going to find stuff that's 100% relevant doing that, but it can be quite helpful. So it's just another option to explore as well. So that orange arrow can link to other things that may be helpful for you. So what I'm going to do then as well is just save this search and send you a link to this search as well. I'll pop that in the chat, so then you can come back to this search and locate, repeat it, change these keywords and terms. So you might change marketing for advertising, for instance. You might exchange dining for casual dining. Run this search again, and you'll find other articles that will relate to this topic as well. So I'll just take a moment to pop this in the chat. Link to that. So in summary, that's how you would search across the databases and locate. Does anyone have any questions about using locate or searching within locate?
No, nothing.
Okay. Hannah, I think that's most of the things I had in mind to cover today. It's basically just quickly covered the main sources of information I think will be useful for research